Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to your week ahead reading for the week of May 8th. I already have the cards pulled out, so we're just going to go ahead and begin what it is that you need to release. We are starting with the Eight of Wands, strength, and with this particular card, or struggle, sorry, and with this particular card, it is actually coming in upside down. And first of all, I feel like the biggest thing that I want to mention is that it's reversed, and I feel the need to mention that it is reversed. So I feel like this is letting me know that there has been some movement that has occurred recently. You've experienced kind of an influx of movement, and you need to release the fixation you may have had on that. You need to release the expectation. The expectation, that's a better term. There seems like there was an expectation of this rush of energy to keep going and keep going and keep going. And this is letting you know that sometimes that you get that gush of energy. You get it when the spring thaw allows the rivers to suddenly flow more. And it is going to eventually kind of decease or decrease in some way. And so you get that sudden rush when the ice melts in the very beginning, but it eventually kind of waters down or dies down or decreases in some way. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why this is going to be in reverse. You've experienced a rush, like a flood of activity in the last week, maybe more than just the last week. And I feel like there may have been an expectation of that to continue and to continue to carry things in your direction and continue to create continued movement. And there is a sense that that is going to come to something of a slowdown or going to come to something of a stop. And so they're just letting you know that when you experience that stop, don't suddenly get focused on it and fixated in it and feeling like now this means that there's going to be a struggle. That movement is still going to be occurring. It's just not going to be that gush. It's not going to be that flood that it was that you had just recently experienced. This is just letting you know that there is going to be a slowdown. Allow it to happen. It's part of the natural progress. Moving on, what it is that you need to focus on. We have Knight of Stones, Horse, and it's just letting me know that you've got to really look at what it is that you define as your foundation, what you defined as sense of security. And this feels very much economic. So what it is that you define as your economic security. And the Knight is letting me know that you have to give it a little bit of thought process and then follow through with some action. So there's some things that this feels like there's a good chance that there might be some budgeting that you're being called to do. Just looking at things that are necessary versus not necessary. Maybe you have a gym membership that you haven't been canceling because you just don't have the time or the energy, or you just, every time you think about it, it's midnight and you can't really deal with it because the gym's only open from 9 to 5 or whatever the case may be. But it's little things like that. They're saying you need to kind of give it some thought and follow through with some action so that you can kind of create a better sense of economic stability is what that is coming through. And that take that time, especially if the floodwaters of all that fiery action that may have been occurring prior week or couple weeks leading into this week, if that has slowed down, take advantage of that time period where things are feeling a little bit slower, things are feeling a little bit more settled down. In those moments where things feel a little quiet and you might feel a little restless because you went from that fiery action and now things are feeling slow, take that time, take that slowness, take advantage of that, and go through those things that maybe you could cancel that aren't really things that you use. Maybe you realize that you haven't watched Netflix in 5 months, time to cancel. That gym membership, you signed up with good intentions, but you know what? Summer's coming and you can take walks outside. So go ahead and cancel the gym membership. Obviously, do not take financial advice from me. This is just all examples. But essentially what I'm trying to put through here right now is that when you start to feel a lull, if you feel restless in that lull, take a time and look at your finances and kind of go over it. Take time to figure out what it is that makes you feel financially secure. Maybe it is keeping that trip to Starbucks in your budget because it makes you feel financially secure that you're allowed to reward yourself with a cup of coffee every day or 3 times a week or whatever the case may be. Just give it some thought. Consider what it is that creates an economic foundation for you. Make some adjustments, get rid of costs or whatever that is just not feeding you or servicing you and is kind of an expenditure that needs to get rid of. waste, kick it out, kick out that waste that might be occurring. But this is what you need to be focusing on in any downtime that you may be experiencing. The strengths that you have as heart chakra, this is really coming in through strong with this particular week. You're just going to feel moments, no matter what you're experiencing in regards to these two cards and the messages that these came with. I feel like this week you're going to have opportunities where you're just going to feel that kind of buzzy feeling and that heart chakra humming, because you realize that there's some things that have really come together, and there's a sense of home. And it's not a physical sense of home. It's just a state of being. It's a sense of being when things have fallen into place, people and circumstances and energy and just connection with your ancestors or spirit guides or whatever the case may be, that sense of home. This heart chakra is just coming through with that overall sense of home and the peace and zen that comes through with whenever you experience that, however you may experience that. All right, Sagittarius, that is all I have for you this week. I hope the week proves to be one that is fulfilling, and hopefully we'll see you in a future video.